C plus, I think. Feel good about C plus. Unconventional tactics. This is the Caught in the Reds of the set. 2 and a white for an uncommon sorcery. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn. Whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay white. If you do, return it from your graveyard to your hand. This is a weird card. It's a repeatable combat trick at sorcery speed. I'm inclined to say that this is bad, but I think maybe if you have enough zombies, then it's really good. It's kind of a build around you card. But I mean, like, you don't want to build the zombie deck because of this card. You want to build the zombie deck because the zombie deck is good. I guess I don't know. This is most likely like a C minus, really. But it is hilarious. Vizier of the True. 3 and a white for a 3/2 human cleric uncommon. May exert it as it attacks. Whenever you exert a creature, tap target creature an opponent controls. I don't know why this is an uncommon. This is bad. This is not a good card. It's 4 mana for a 3/2. Bad. And then whenever you exert a creature, tap target creature an opponent controls. You know what? Actually, it lets you push through a lot of damage if you have like a lot of exert creatures. So that is a thing. But I don't like this card. I still think this card's bad. I'm gonna go ahead and give this card a C. I'm gonna give it a C, I guess. No, a C minus. This is definitely a C minus. I don't like this card. It's bad stats. And then, yeah, I guess you can squeeze some more damage in, but it's really not that worth it for those stats. I don't really want to be paying a 3/2 for 4 mana. Alright, moving on to blue. Yay, blue. First up, Windrake, Aerial Guide. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 with flying. Oh, let me just say about white. White seems really aggressive. Same thing as last time. You know, Desert's Hold, I think, is going to be one of the cards that really pulls you into the color. And I think there's a lot of really good 2-drops. So, white will probably be the same as it was in Amonkhet, which is to say extremely aggressive and looks pretty good. You know. Anyway, blue. Aerial Guide, 2 and a blue. Drake, common, 2/2. Flying, Windrake. Whenever it attacks, another target creature gets flying until end of turn. I don't know how good that is. I think in like a blue-green deck, that's pretty good. But, I mean, this isn't much better than Windrake. And Windrake is like a classic C. So this is just a C to me. Even Reed Stalker. 3 and a blue. For a common bird warrior. 2/3 flash flying. Oh, that's it. 2/3 flash flying, you know, it's a good defensive creature, I guess. It blocks against opponents' flyers and really ambush them. 4 mana is steep, but actually kind of reasonable. You know what? This card's actually good. I'm gonna go ahead. I think not good, but I think it's a C. You know, there's not that much downside. All right, Champion of Wits, 2 and a blue for a 2/1 Naga Wizard. It's a rare. When it ETBs, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. And then eternalize 5 blue. That's 7 mana. So when it enters battlefield, you draw you Faithless Looting. You draw 2, discard 2. But when you pay 7 mana, you get your 4/4, and then you draw 4, discard 2. The value is pretty good. That's a lot for 7 mana, but I don't know. It depends how grindy these games are. But I feel like a 2/1 for 3 that loots is bad. And then a 7 mana 4/4 that... I don't know. I feel like I want this card to be good because I love it. But it's probably not that good. Alright. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give it a C+. I'm going to give it a C+. Maybe it's good. I hope it's good. It might be good. In a grindy deck, it's really good. And you know what? Discarding does help with a lot of triggers. You know, just whenever you discard a card triggers. Ah, come on. Let me have this one. This one looks fun. We'll give it a C plus, a C plus. Counter Reeling Winds. 2 and a blue. Instant common. Counter target spell unless its controller plays one card. One for each card in your graveyard. And it's got cycling for 2. So it's ostensibly cancel. Except not 2 blue mana symbols, which is good. And it's got cycling. I kind of like this card. Cycling makes it a lot better. Like, because it's never really that dead in your hands. Like, if they're like, he's holding a counterspell, you just cycle it away. So, I kind of like this. I feel like this is going to make the cut more often than not. But it's also a cancel. So, alright. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give this a, I'm going to give this a C. It's probably more like a C minus, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a C because you really can just sort of get rid of it if you're like if you're playing like a controlling blue deck, and I know the controlling blue decks are bad, but they exist in the format. They exist in the Nomicat, and they could easily exist in this format. If you're playing like a controlling blue deck, and you know they definitely exist in sealed, then I think will be not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a C. Okay. So Cunning Survivor. 1 in a blue, 1/3. Human Warrior at common. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It can't be blocked this turn. 1/3 for 2 and gets bigger. This is actually both. This is actually good on offense and defense, which is kind of what blue needs in this format. This card's not bad. I think it's a C. I don't think it's a C minus. I think it's a C. Eternal Harsh Truths. 2 in a blue, 1/3. Zombie Cleric. Uncommon. Afflict 2. Whenever it becomes blocked, defending player loses 2 life. When it's not blocked, draw a card. I like this. This is fun. This is a real Punisher. Like, that's the whole thing with Afflict is that, you know, Punisher mechanics sometimes aren't good, but this is a really aggressive card sometimes. Like, it's like, hey, I'm just going to draw a card every turn if you don't block, and if you do block, you're probably not going to kill my guy because it's got 3 toughness, and you take 2 anyway. So I really like this card. Like, every blue player in the format is going to want this card. Let's go ahead and give this a nice, healthy C+. Fraying Sanity. 2 and a blue for enchantment. It's an aura curse at rare. Enchant player, beginning of each end step, enchanted player puts the top X cards his or her of his or her library in your graveyard where X is the number of cards put in that graveyard from anywhere this turn. No. F. Hour of Eternity. XX blue 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 for a rare sorcery. Exile X target creature cards from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that card except it's a 4/4 black zombie. Okay. Let's say it right here. This card's very expensive. At most, it's 5 mana for a 4/4. Right? But it scales so well. 5 mana for a 4/4 is bad. But, you know, 7 mana for 2 4/4s is great. And then, you know, 9 mana for 3 4/4s is amazing. It scales really well. And also, you know, it doesn't really matter what you hit off of this, but, like, say you hit a creature with hexproof. Say you hit a creature that has a good ETB. The value is really good. You have to be in heavy blue. I think in, like, a blue-green deck that has a lot of mana, this is an unbelievably good finisher. I'm gonna go ahead and give this, like, a B minus. I think, yeah, it's expensive, but this is like a game-winning card. Like, it's a win con. Win cons get B minuses to me. Okay, this is a controversial one. Imaginary threats, 2 blue. Instant, uncommon. Creatures target opponent's control. Attack this turn if able. During that player's next untap step, creatures he or she controls don't untap. It's got cycling 2. Okay, so it's 4 mana for an instant that says force your opponent to block and essentially exert all of their creatures. And it's got cycling 2. So this card, people are mixed on this card. And I think it's like, what if I don't want them to attack? But you're not casting this when you don't want them to attack. You're casting this when it's like, I have good blocks. Or like, I have enough life that I can afford to do this and then kill you next turn. Something like that. Like, you're not casting this when it's bad for you. And when it is bad for you, it has cycling too. Like, I don't see the downside of this card. I really don't. I'm honestly just going to give it, like, I guess not every blue deck wants this. I'll give it that. Not every blue deck wants this. But still, when you're in the blue deck that does want this, when you're in the red blue deck, when you're in the blue green deck that does want this, then this card is really, the white blue deck, this card is good. Really good. But I will give this a C+ because I understand that it's not always good. Okay? But it is good. It's good. Jace's defeat. Sorry, Jace. 1 in the blue, instant, uncommon, counter target blue spell. If it was a James Planeswalker spell. Scry 2. Well, unfortunately for James, this card is good in the sideboard. You know, same thing about, I'll say this, I'm going to give this all for the same ones for the rest of the cards in this cycle, which is, it's a good sideboard card if you're playing against that color. You know, if your opponent is has you know, a Glyph Keeper, and it's like, Jace's defeat. Yeah, you feel pretty freaking good, don't you? So, yeah, sideboard. Kefnet's Last Word. 2 blue, sorcery, rare. Gain control of target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. So, out of this cycle, this is probably the best one limited. This is really, really good and limited. 4 mana for mind control on anything. You know, I'll take your Sandward Convergence. I'll take your enormous fatty creature. I'll take your whatever. This is good. This is a good card. You're gonna play this a lot. Yeah. This is a really good blue card. I'll say that. Like, there's not that many good blue cards, but this is definitely one of them. I'm gonna go ahead and give this like a B or a B minus. Probably a B minus. You know what? Screw that. B. This is a B. It's a mind control. Mind controls are good. Control magic, actually. Nimble Instructionist. 2 and a blue. 3/1. Flash, flying, cycling. 2 and a blue. When you cycle it, counter target activated triggered ability you don't control. It's a rare. This is one of the most exciting cards for constructed purposes. For limited, 3/1 flying, flash. I mean, that's actually probably worse than limited because in this format there's a lot of -1/-1 counters floating around. And then as far as the counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control, I don't know how often that comes up. Probably not a lot. You can actually counter afflict with that, which is interesting. Probably the cycling is just the cycling and it's not for that second ability. But 3/1 flash flying for 3 I like a lot. I think I'll probably play this almost every time. You know what? Let's go ahead and give this one a C+. C+. Maybe even a B minus, but probably C+. Ominous Sphinx. 3 blue, 4/4 creature Sphinx, uncommon, flying. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -2, -0 until end of turn. I mean, I love it. I really love this card. I like everything about it. Will it be fast enough for the format? We'll see. But it is really good. I like this card a lot. This is like a really good B minus, and I hope the format is in a like, I hope I can play this in the format. Not saying that I hope the format is, the format's too fast and Omnican's too fast. Just more